Welcome back to Kingshot. Today I'm answering a question that is asked to me on almost a daily basis, and also something that I sometimes need a refresher of myself, and that question is, what type of troop formations should you be bringing when you're doing different types of activities inside of Kingshot? Because no, you're not supposed to bring just a balanced formation of troops to all different activities. So inside of this video, I'll be showing you how to set up the different formations, how to save some formations, how the system works, and then what you're really looking for, which is exactly what are the breakdowns of infantry, cavalry, and archers that you should put inside of all of your rallies. Then at the very end of the video, I'm going to be giving you guys a tip on how I save a ton of money in Kingshot, so make sure that you don't miss it, so stick around. So as soon as you're about to join a rally or go and attack something inside of the game or really do anything with your heroes and with your troops, you're brought onto this deploy screen. There's a few things that I want to touch on regarding this deploy screen. First of all, and there's something that I don't even use that I need to start using, and I will after this video, and that is up top, these set deployments. You could set the heroes that you're deploying with the troop counts that you're going to be deploying for all of these up top, and I recommend that you actually do use those. It's going to save you a ton of time. So you could essentially set them up with all the different deployments that we're going to be talking about here today. As you can see, you have these slide bars that allow you to choose the amount of troops that you're bringing. You have a maximum amount of troops that you can bring based off of the rally size that you have. And then you can either clear all with the button on the bottom, you could equalize your troops, or you can come here and use this balance slider, and you could just slide it across or choose the percentages of each of the troops that you want to use. And today, we're going to be talking about the troops that you're utilizing based off of this slider. And all of the numbers that we're talking about are in the order of infantry, cavalry, and then archers, as seen right here inside of the game. So why don't you go down, subscribe to the channel if you found this useful so far, and let's get into the breakdowns. Let's start out with general rallies. This is something that can be your go-to inside of the game, unless if things are specified otherwise. So if you're doing just something general and you can't remember what you should be doing a 50-20-30 split. This is going to be for things like rallies, terrors, desert trial, or Caesar's Fury. 50% infantry, 20% cavalry, and 30% archers. That's a good rule of thumb for the general setup. And then we have everyone's 2 times a day daily favorite activity. I'm talking about bear hunt. For bear hunt, you're going to be going in with 10% infantry, 10% cavalry, and 80% archers. This is going to have a lot of damage from afar utilizing those archers. Bear hunt is going to be a 10-10-80 split. Next up, we have Alliance Championship. 50% infantry, 20% cavalry, and 30% archers is the breakdown that you're going to be utilizing for this. Once we're done with all of these, I'll give you a full look at all of them all together so you can snap yourselves a screenshot. Swordland Championship is going to be the same breakdown. You're going to be looking at a 50-20-30 breakdown for Swordland as well, and it's going to be similar for the next one. That next one also being 50-20-30, and we're talking about for general PvP battles. 50% infantry, 20% cavalry, and 30% archers. Next up, we're going to talk about garrison and defense. You're basically going all in with infantry and cavalry right here. 70% on infantry and 30% on cavalry. This one is sometimes debated. Sometimes people say you should bring a small amount of archers as well. But in general, defense and garrison is 70% infantry, 30% cavalry. If you don't like that, you could always go with a 60-20-20 as well if you want to bring some archers. But this is what I've found to be the most recommended. Now, for all of you that want that full breakdown of everything that we just discussed, it is right here above, so you can see all of them in one. Overall, you're going to see many of these are going to be a 50-20-30 split. The Alliance Championship, Swordland Showdown, and PvP battles. Even the rallies that you're going to be doing as well. You're mostly switching things up when you're going to bear hunt, when you're going heavy on archers, and you're lightening things up on archers significantly and going heavy on infantry when you're doing defense or garrison. I hope you found this helpful. Now, I also want to help you out, as I mentioned, with saving a bunch of money inside of Kingshot. This is the sponsor of the channel. So let's get into that, and I appreciate you guys watching.